not record that. All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming to Malvern Books. We're really excited to have two fabulous poets here tonight, Danielle Sellers and Traci Brimhall. I'm going to introduce Danielle first. Danielle Sellers' poems have appeared in Prairie Schooner, Subtropics, the Cimarron Review, Smartish Pace, and elsewhere. She is the author of two collections of poetry, Key Elegies from Main Street Rag, which was released in 2009, and The Minor Territories, which is out now from Sundress Press. It was released in 2018. We have plenty of copies. She teaches literature and creative writing at Trinity Valley School in Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you so much, Danielle.
Thanks to Malvern for having me here. This is, I think, my third time reading at this bookstore, and I absolutely love it every time. I'm going to read a few poems from my new collection, The Minor Territories. The first one is called Late October, Sardis Lake. We were not yet married. Our bean child swung suspended in my belly, shrimp clear. That time of year, the campfires were few, just dots of light along the lake edge. At the next camp, a man beat hell out of his boy. Owl feathers drifted to the fire. My fiance hoped ours would not be a sun. The sun lost to a dark moon. We argued over the proper way to begin a long night's blaze. When the vein in his temple throbbed, I sputtered and turned in. He eyed the axe, raised the volume on the radio. Against the night, our neighbors' flames looked like couples kissing. I thought, there are ways to lose a thing so small. Traci and I were talking about pillow books, and I actually, in this collection, I have a Zuitzi, which was inspired by Shay Shonigan's pillow book, and so I thought I would read it. It's called Bad Nauheim Train Station After War. We waited for the ice train to Frankfurt on metal benches. My hand on the curve of his bicep, his hand in his coat pocket. A cold, clear morning, and our breath smoke funnels the air. Bad Nauheim is a spa town in the Rhineland. Its salt springs are used to treat heart and nerve diseases. On our walk through the Kurpark, the brown gurgle of a thermal fountain sent him back to war. It's just a sad memory, he said. I knew not to ask what. Newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst came to Bad Nauheim each year with his mistress. In 1931, he met Mussolini here, and from here flew to Berlin to meet Hitler in 1934. In the garden beds, tulips raised their green temples. I thought of the photograph he sent me while he was in Iraq. A man's face split open, his skin like plum skin folded over his black hair. A hand on the pebble encasing strewn street, a fly on that hand. When I asked why he sent me that, he said he didn't know. He never did it again. At night, I finger the bullets like marbles under the skin of his shoulder. Hearst did much good in advising Hitler to stop his persecution of the Jews. Afterward, he spent his life trying to erase the name, supporter of the Nazi cause. While deployed, he looked me up on the internet, sent an email with a picture of him and his daughter on a fishing boat. After his divorce, we dated long distance for 8 months. I sent care packages filled with lollipops for the Iraqi children in his village. He sent back sweat-creased notes. He had 2 kill letters, one addressed to me and the other to his daughter, to be delivered in case. I was dying to know what was in mine. Here in Germany, he couldn't help but scan the rooftops for snipers, found himself walking backwards, pulling rear detail. I thought, he'll be fine, he just needs time. Sex after a year at war was not as good as one might think. In Cologne, I bought a black and white postcard taken after World War II. In it, the bridge to the train station is severed, its metal arcs twisted and breaking the flow of the Rhine. The Gothic cathedral is unscathed in the background. On the stone banks, a couple sits with their arms around each other. The caption, "Lucky to be alive." In Al-Anbar province, he told me a boy blew himself up while burying a bomb roadside. Later, a dog carried away his liver. Perhaps he sent me the photo of his kill because I don't agree with the war. He wanted to know if I could love him anyway. In the taxi to the Bahnhof, the Beatles song Yesterday played, and I thought, I'm riding to a train station with my high school boyfriend. 12 years apart tried all its tricks against us. After not touching all morning, he rested his forearm on my thigh. Willows lined the street, whipped by, and through their bare branches a church spire. Were it spring, I would not have seen it. I'll read one more. This poem was inspired by Carrie Fountain, who's a local poet who helped me very much with this manuscript. And when we first started working on this manuscript together, she told me that I had too many angry poems about my ex-husband, and so she gave me the assignment to write a nice poem about my ex-husband, which is the hardest writing assignment I've ever been given. So I wrote this one poem, and it's only 3 lines long. When asked to say something nice about my ex-husband, I recall his chest, how sometimes he tolerated my head on it, strong as a door, skimming the surface of a dark ocean.